Sponsor.
Sponsored by water.
Yep.
That's a good sponsor though, water. Because to get quality water nowadays, it's not.
Yeah, man. I mean, this one is like, tastes pretty good. It works pretty well.
Alkaline water.
Yeah, bro. It's pretty good. Pretty good stuff, man. Good water. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the channel.
That's sick. So, like I said, it'd be good to chat about just like the logistics of some of working together. Like we talked a little bit about it last time. The investing in yourself and being able to do that is all like very straightforward to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any questions or anything you think that I should know first before I tell you a bit more about like what I've got that I reckon will work best for you?
Nothing that we haven't already touched on previously, if I'm being honest. I don't have any, not right now, unless it comes up later, but yeah, no, I don't have any. I think the more when you start to explain it, then I'm like, oh, right. If that makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, sweet, we can do this together, or can we do this, and that type of stuff too. Because I'm a working with people type of person. Yeah. Because I don't know, that's just the way I operate. I operate best as a team too. So also individually as well. But so yeah, man.
Sounds good. That's cool, bro. That's cool. Yeah, bro. So, yeah, what I've got that I reckon work best, like based on where you're at. Obviously, we've got the business focus with it, and there's also doing that through the means of the mindset side of things.
Yeah.
And also being able to cater that to your personality, the things that you want to do, like the strength that you add to Mafana as well. Yeah. So this is like your own thing that you can build yourself, and as well as that, if like for as long as you're with Mafana Media, I wouldn't see any reason for you not to, but it's like you're also bringing an asset to the thing where it's like you're just strengthening your own branch of it basically as well, with like we talked about the teaching, setting stuff up by way of getting work, but also being able to have that other avenue as well.
100%.
And getting better through teaching. So the thing that I've been thinking about that and praying about that I reckon will work best for you is I have longer ones, like I have a 3-month, a 6-month and a 9-month one. I reckon a good start for you would be like the 3-month one, because it's not like this massive chunk, and then if we want, then we can go like, then do another 3 and another 3. So I've got a 3-month one whereby the minimum stuff that we do is 1 call a week. So it's like 1 video call a week where even if it's in person, we record it all so that you can have, I make like a little private playlist for you so you can look back at all the stuff. And then obviously, whenever we're here in person, we can always chat about that stuff, anything that you want to chat about.
That was distracting.
Yeah, for sure.
Chuck my phone away.
See you, bro. I'll chat to you soon, bro. Take care, man. Yeah. So we've got that, where that's the minimum, and then obviously whenever we're in person, we can chat about this stuff as well. It's like all that little, it's like bonus stuff, but I just make sure I do the minimum stuff of the 1 call a week for the 12 weeks, the 3 months, to make sure that we have like that focus time on that stuff, and then there's also time for you to go off and apply all of the things week to week. We just really gear you up with all the skills to be able to, like we said before, keep raising that floor so that you can just keep going with all of that there. So that's that by way of those. That's really the focus of it, is like having that intentional time with the calls and just putting you in that space and helping to develop as you're implementing the stuff already. And then when we catch up here, we do that stuff, sesh, all that side of things. But yeah, does that sound like, because then even if I'm not here, we can do stuff together over at different gyms and that. Yeah. Does that sound like something that would work for you, man?
Yeah, I reckon that makes sense for me. Cool. I reckon that'll work out.
Sweet, bro. Sweet. So the investment for that one, for the 3 months, is 10K for that one? Yeah. How does that sound for you?
10K. Cool. So that'd be Split into, I get it.
Yeah. So most guys either, the most preferred option people have is to do it all up front, but of course I understand if that's not your preferred option. Then the second most popular is guys go like split it into 5 and 5, like 5 and then after the first month another 5.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Or they split it into like, I don't have as many people do this, but like month by month, so it's like 3.5 first at the start, 3.5 in the second, 3.5 in the third. But yeah, and then it comes out to
I'll have to come back to that financial stuff about it too. Just because in the situation I'm currently in now. But yeah.
Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you at right now?
I'm good. But because mum and dad, obviously being the provider as well for mum and dad too, kind of have to. It's not really my dad doesn't rake in any money as far as benefits because he's a pensioner. So I've got to look after them. I just got to go back to my drawing board and see where money's coming in, money's going out, type of stuff. Before, I don't want to go, oh yeah, sweet, and then don't actually pay you for your services. That's what I don't want to do. I want to actually solidify it first before I even go ahead with it. But financially, me as an individual, I'm good, but I also got to look out for other people as well. It's not just my individual, how can I say it? Spendings that I want to do, type of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm actually really keen. But I was like, all right, I have to go back and see where I can get it. I know where I can get it from, but how I'm going to play it within mum and dad's expenses type stuff as well. So that's why I was like, that's why I was humming and ahhing previous. I was like, I do want to do it now. Obviously, that's the only thing that holds me back right now is kind of the responsibilities that I have to cater. And then I don't want to let that stuff down. And then if I do say yes to you, then it will let that stuff down too. So,
100%. Yeah, for sure, man.
I want to do it at a near future. That's why I was like, near future, because I know.
Near what, sir?
In the near future.
Near future, yeah.
You know when we initially talked about it? Yeah. I was like, all right, sweet. Which is good because it just forces me to grind harder, I reckon, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just, this is a room for opportunity because we've taken more on. But yeah, just looking up for my mum and dad's well-being, probably my main concern. Now, I'm all right. I can hustle here and there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a matter of when, if, put the foot down. On the gas and be like, all right, sweet, let's go do it right now. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, with that, I definitely get that where you would, like, you got to consider those that you're providing.
Sometimes I'm like, I would like to do it, but then, just without being selfish in a way.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know what I was going with that. But yeah, if that makes sense. So.
Was it that kind of like being selfish for? It's like almost being selfish for them as well, because then you're taking on that stuff to help grow and improve everyone's situation by you improving, that kind of thing. Was that where you were going with it?
Yeah. Okay. And then I was like, so
it's like the good kind of selfish.
Yes, right. But yeah, that's why I was like, man, I really want to actually go and go all in on it as well. But
yeah, man.
I have touched on it. Yeah. But one thing I've noticed when you just said it, I didn't pray about it too. I just thought, this is what we want to do. So, 100%, I need to pray for it about it too. Not that if I'm going to do it, I do need to do it. I'm going to pray for just a lot more guidance as far as like what to do, especially with mum and dad's situation as well. So I feel like that's more of a weight on my shoulders more than anything. But me, I'm fine. I could, you know what I mean? I could eat ramen noodles all day. I don't care what I eat. I could survive off nothing. But just mum and dad's all being both being over 60. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's an important consideration. And I'd also ask, would you ever, like if it came to it, do you ever think you wouldn't be able to, if things change, like do you ever think you wouldn't be able to keep providing for them that way? Or would you always make it happen? Like find a way to make it happen?
Yeah, I'll always find a way to make it happen. I feel like time is my worst enemy.
Yeah? How so?
I feel like maybe you can rebuttal this. Maybe it's just a mindset thing. I feel like I just need a little bit more time to come up with like a plan. I need a little bit more time to make more money and to provide for that type of stuff. I need you know what I mean? And I feel like if I don't want to just go bang, bang, bang and do a lot of stuff and agree to a lot of stuff, and then be like back against the wall, oh my days, why did I say yes to this? Why did I say yes to this? In a financial sense, if that makes sense. So,
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It makes sense. Need a plan and back against the wall.
Yeah. So time, and then obviously, what I don't want to do is still have you cater to me and still not give you your side of the thing, your side of the bargain too, which is obviously pay you for your services as well. So, let down is that too? Well, probably not let down. I just want to be the man on my word, you know. Instead of just, he's giving a service to me for free, you know, that type of stuff. But yeah. Was that making sense?
It's making sense. It makes sense. Like you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can't like back up what you've agreed to. Basically, because it's like
that's what makes sense.
Yeah. That integrity is really important. My thing with that is, it's a funny thing where we're like, I don't want to get in that situation where we're like, I want to always try to make sure I do this, but it's like you got to be the man before you become the man kind of thing. It's like I like to use a phrase, you put the cart before the horse. So a lot of the time we're always like, we're gonna have the perfect plan. But how often is it like we make a plan and then God's just like,
it's never perfect, man.
So he's got the whole plan.
Yeah.
As well.
But I also want to exercise the walking by faith thing. Like I said to you, I need to probably get back to my word and pray about it more, and not just about this, just about everything in general. So, yeah, man, I feel like I'm slowly slipping back off the horse again. So I know what to do in order to get back up again. But yeah, man, I'm just like, right now what I'm thinking is I actually do want to take like 100%, and I'm like, oh my days. So. Obviously, going back to the word says, we walk by faith, not by sight. So I almost do want to say yes, but I almost don't want to let people down as well. Yeah. Obviously, myself down, obviously you, especially working, because I value relationships too. So
absolutely.
You know what I mean? I want to keep that value up there on higher, especially when you build a relationship with someone. But yeah, that's why sometimes I'm like, it's like tug of war, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Can I share what's normally helpful, having like been on this side a few times, and on the other side as well?
Real.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the biggest things I definitely get, there are all these considerations on what if this, and a lot of the time we start to focus on all the negative stuff, but it's like, if you were really in that situation, you imagine, even like put it in the worst possible situation, your back's up against the wall, you got to do these things, would you back down from that, or would you use that as an opportunity to strengthen your faith while still providing for others? Like, it's not the situation to always plunge yourself into, but often when your back's against the wall, when you have no choice but to become the person that makes that stuff happen, that's where you can see a lot of guys do their best work, or like bolster it, because it's like, it's almost like saying, do you think you'll never be in that kind of situation again where you'll have to do that stuff? And I understand it can feel a bit unsafe, but do you think you'd never be in that situation before where people would be counting on you, you've got to make a decision?
No, I'm pretty sure that I'm always going to be somewhat in a position like that as well. It never really goes away. But I feel like because everything is starting to because I want to elevate as an individual as well, not just physically and all that stuff, but spiritually as well. That I think all that fear's kicking in to be like, damn, it's all new territory to me. Where do I begin? Where do I start? How do I do things? If that makes sense,
Yeah, I get you, man. And that's definitely where it's like even the where do I begin thing is like, it's like the, I need to get ready thing. I need to plan to develop the plan. Yeah. So I get it, dude, because it's like we've talked about, it can, even subconsciously, tends to be a little threatening to you. Your subconscious is like, like I know what this is. Like I know how I got here. And that's like safe. So it's a little bit of like, I'm changing this situation, which it's like the frog in the pot of boiling water we talk about. It's changing regardless.
Yeah.
It's just the perception of that change is like longer time horizon when you don't do anything versus when you do make those decisions to like really move yourself forward. And an interesting point that I was pondering last night is like, is the not changing what got you to where you are now? Is it? Or did you change kind of along the way, your circumstances, who you are, to be able to get to where you are now?
I feel a bit of both.
Yeah.
Even not changing made me realize that I became complacent. But yeah, obviously the other side too, where I gradually learned stuff of wherever the situation, whatever the situation, or who the situation was with at the time. But yeah, I feel like a little bit of both in that sense too.
Yeah, I've been through that too. It's like you said, you can see the effects of both, like what it's like to not change and kind of go that complacency route, and then to change, to constantly keep growing. Because it is like God gives us challenges that are like feel a little bit beyond our limits. Like we want to say, no, I don't think I'm capable.
100%.
And for us, it's like, maybe we're not capable, but with God, it's like, not alone we're not capable, but with God. And I'd even say like the people God puts in our lives, then it's like, oh, okay. I see, even if you don't know the full path forward or like exactly what it would look like, then God knows the way forward. God knows the path. And our job is, I find, really just to walk with God and hold his hand and trust him that he knows the way forward. That's where I find praying so useful, because it's like intuitively you know the way forward. Our flesh and our eyes can't see the way forward. We're always like, what's like the plan I need to make? But your intuition always knows, okay, here's what God's calling me to do. And then even if you can't see it, it sees the way forward. It's like that quote. Chris Williamson says it a lot. The ironic tragedy of life is that it has to be lived forward but only makes sense in reverse.
Yeah.
You connect the dots, but I find that the intuition is the thing that connects the dots moving forward, because that intuition is that, well, you said one of the issues is time.
Yeah.
God is timeless, right?
Right.
So the intuition, because that's connected, it's our spirit.
Yeah.
That aspect of us is timeless. We got two aspects to us, like the flesh, which is linear in terms of time.
Yeah.
We're limited by time. And then the spirit, which is not limited by time.
Yeah, right.
So then we can tap into the spirit. It'll tell us, like, when we're coming from that softer place, like, okay, what's the way to go forward? And the one that's not driven from a place of fear of, like, you know, even when you're saying, I'm afraid I won't be able to live up to that, I won't be that man, that stuff is like more the flesh of like, oh, I'm scared of that. I like to say the flesh is scared, the spirit is prepared. So like do a little rhyming stuff. But that, I think it really highlights how we can know the way forward spiritually, and then our block tends to be like our mind, because our mind is of the flesh a lot of the time. Well, it is. It's like the filter for the spirit. So for us, it's being able to expand the filter more and more, increase the aperture.
Increase the aperture.
Yeah. Let more light in.
Let more light in.
That's it. I know filters.
That's cool.
I did U11 photography.
That's cool.
Yeah, that stuff tends to be the way forward. So it's like all of your fears are valid. That's one of the big things to validate and say like, yeah, I understand it. There's always an infinite number of reasons, like, oh, maybe not now, maybe like with more time, I've got to look out for this, I've got to look out for that. The security in that stuff really comes from you choosing to be that person where it's like, okay, I know that I would never let, like you know that you would never let your parents go hungry or not be provided for. You'd always be able to do that, and you know that this is the way forward to both. There's like one path forward only has that, like what you have now, and almost at the cost of the dream, like to the degree that you want it and the degree that you're called for, and the other has you having it all, basically, where you provide for your parents, and then it's got that long-term focus as well, and essentially fulfilling the calling that we have from God. And it's just like the choice becomes very simple. It's not a matter of if, but when. And like you were saying before, you know how to get the money and sort out the financials for that, and you'd be the kind of guy that would just always make it work. Then the fear is often just putting ourselves into that situation in the first place. But once we do, it's like kind of like, you ever been like bungee jumping or anything like that, or like done those kind of
really.
things? No, okay. Well, it's like when you have a scary thing that you want to do, some kind of commitment, a lot of the time we'll be like, oh, okay. It's like the anticipation is worse. Or thinking about coming to the gym, for example, is that it takes more energy to be like, oh, should I go? Should I not go?
Yeah.
Versus just coming and being like, even if you're not 100% sure what to do, you're like, oh, I've got a rough plan. You've got a coach, so you've got a plan. And you can always adapt when you're in there. But once you're in there, you're like, oh, of course I'm going to make this work. There's no way that I don't make it work. And it's like we can do all that stuff with the gym, and then it's realizing that, oh, we can do all the same stuff with our businesses, our finances and that, because it's not about the circumstance, it's about who we choose to be. That's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. They don't make the shift where it's like, oh, if I just choose to be this and I make that commitment, because it's like faith without works is dead. So we can have the faith, and if God calls us to do a certain thing, then we just put the works in alignment wholeheartedly and know that it's going to work, because this is what God called us for. On a long enough time horizon, it always works out. And for us, it's just like, okay, we know how to sort that out. We know how to, you know, you have a way to make it work. It's just being able to have those moments of courage. It's not like a constant thing, and we do still choose God every day, but sometimes there are those bigger moments where like, okay, I'm making this commitment, I'm going to do this. Often when you're on the other side, you're like, oh, this is fine. Like, it's not so bad, because it also does something to you where you say, oh, okay, I'm choosing consciously to fully do this in faith and step into becoming the man that God calls me to be in this moment. And then you just keep choosing that day after day. But it's like a new level of things, which is why it can be scary as well. It's just a matter of what we're going to focus on and listen to. And yeah, because you have the means to do it, and the ultimate means to constantly figure it out is you're the independent factor. That you and God. And then obviously if you've got the guidance, then that's it's kind of what we're doing. It's like when people are like, oh, I don't want to do this because of the situation. It's like, is the situation not why you kind of need to do this in the first place, or like a big part of it? 100%. Yeah, man. Those are my thoughts on what you were saying. Just then, so even
I feel like I should take it. And in regards to, even though my financial situation not fully being where I want it to be in order to cater for everyone, I just had this sense of warmth of like, oh, that, and this little thought in my head said, do it, like just do it. I don't really get that much confirmation from God, but it was, when you were talking, I was like, oh, damn, maybe I should just do it too. Taking that leap of faith, but my main concern is, so just the payment side of it, am I able to give it to you as a month go by? Like, so 3K that month, and then 3K that, 3 or whatever, and then it'll equate to, probably not up front. That's my only issue. Probably not
like the whole thing up front.
Yeah, probably not the whole thing. Or the 3K up front right now too for the first month, and then second month 3K, and then the third month. Yeah.
Oh, as in like you would do the 3.5 up front, and then the next one, and then the next one.
Yeah. But my main concern was also with the 3K not up front as well, but like within that month.
Oh, within the month?
Yeah, within the month, within that first, within each. I reckon it'll be just for the first month, and then the next month should be just 3K, and then like straight away when that flips over to that new month, which is the only thing I was falling on. If that makes sense. I'm trying to put my finger on it.
The only thing you were what, sir?
The only thing I was trying to like put my finger on was, all right, so if I can't give him it right now, would it be all right if I give it to you within that 3K per month thingy that I equate up to 10K? But yeah, I was like, I don't know if that's how he wants his business to.
Yeah, so you're saying that you'd want to not do the first 3.5K up front?
Yeah, but give it to you within that month, and then I don't know if that works for you or not. You tell me if it doesn't work for you or not.
We can definitely look at that. How come that you're wanting to do that one that way?
But I think I know I got a big chunk coming out that's gonna get taken out soon for some gear. What was it? Mum and Dad. We got Mum and Dad's church fundraising stuff, which is a lot of money there. There's a lot of money getting put into the church as well, like food, catering to people. Just for this second quarter too as well. So I'm like, what it is. And I just want to go back and double check.
Yeah.
What else is getting?
Yeah. What's the difference if you do the 3.5K before or after that chunk comes out?
The difference is I'll have to wait until the other payments come in, and then it'll be back down to like probably not zero, but like not enough to pay you up front, if that makes sense. I wouldn't give you the 3K because I'm like, where am I going to get the 3K from? If I'm still waiting to get it put in, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The church one or the
the
other
church one as well. The church one.
Okay.
So all of those big factors. I'm like, I don't really want to go fully back up against the wall, if that makes sense.
I get that. Even if you did, does part of you like think that you won't be able to make it back, or is there a part that's kind of like, I'm not sure if it's going to keep coming in if it gets that close to? Because it's just an interesting point that you picked up on. That I pick up on. A lot of guys are like, they have this thing where it's like, I can't let it get past this point.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can get, falling back onto that, give me a little bit more time. I'm there. I just need if that makes sense. Also fear. But I know when I'm in a position like that, for some reason I perform better.
Yeah.
I found previously coming out, like when I first picked up a camera, went to a wedding, people loved that. I was like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that but yeah, just out of fear, and I was performing it out of fear as well. I don't know. I do know. I need to back it, man. I need to back it. I know. It's hard. Well, one of those.
Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
For you, what would be the way to back that now? Because I feel like I can see it like for myself, but for you, what do you see?
Man, I know what I can do, because I know I can work. I know God's given me, blessed me with hands that is it's very abundant in just working, like just, you know, like everyone else. So, but I think it's just falling back onto like when I was growing up to everything is just not doubting my ability necessarily. It's more of the unknown. I reckon it's just, I don't even know what's on the other side. I don't even know if I do this. But how many more weeks do we? Can you start your 3 months whenever?
You can. My thing is just if that's the right thing.
Yeah.
For each individual. Like, to be completely transparent, like a big part of my job, and it's also what I love about it, is like oftentimes I can see when someone's like right at that point where like I know I need to do this, but we start putting things up in our way that are like
we start already like tearing ourselves down.
So my job is also to like care about you and like your outcomes, and ultimately do it with God and like let Him guide my actions, but do that so much to the point where like I'm willing to help you get that stuff out of your way. That like as we start putting more and more stuff up in our own way, it's like, okay, did you just put that in your own way, or is that really a thing? And oftentimes we're like, oh, okay, 100%. I can take that. Yeah. Because it's very valid to have the fear of that unknown. It's a different situation. And there's also, like with you, I think it's paired with this, everyone's got a set point where it's like, I'm afraid of my finances get below this point, or alarm bells going off.
Alarm bell, 100%, man.
Yeah, and it's like if you ask yourself, okay, why do I fear that? So say it's like, if my finances went under 1,000, I come across that one a lot. Like, I can't do it. Like, I panic. But it's like, why? Do you think you won't be able to make another 1,000 again?
Yeah, right.
And essentially, it's a really important thing to consider, because it's like, what do you tell your body? What are you telling your spirit? And like, what do you tell yourself you have faith in? Because it's like, well, I don't trust myself to make another 1,000. When you know that if you lost all that, how long would it take you to get it back? Like a week?
Yeah, a week. Next payday's next week. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Or this week, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's seeing that and being like, oh, where's the logic behind what I'm saying? And often it's just like, it's a little like illogical or like non-sequential, but it comes from like, and this is why it's valid, it comes from that place of fear and the unknown, because it's also like, it's a little like tricky way of our fear gets around that, because then it's like, the fear is actually actually changing your floor from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000, because it perceives that as not safe, like, oh, I've never done that before. But being able to do that, it's like if you just don't do it in the first place, you kind of stick to that point, and that's what keeps people stuck there. Is the actual fear of going like, oh, okay, I can't let it get below that amount. But then it's like, well, logically, if it does, there's no way that it would make it. Even with like when people look at like 10K, 5K, whatever it is, it's like, well, so say you had that 10K, 3.5K, like say it was the 3.5K. If you threw all that like out a window, you had that in cash and you threw it out the window, how long would it take you to get it back? It's like about 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks, almost a month. Yeah.
Or if you had to, it's like you could do it sooner. But either way, it's like you know that logically, it's coming in anyway. It's just we have this thing about like, oh, I don't know. We tend to look at what's right in front of us, as opposed to, okay, what if I think a month ahead? What if I think 2 months ahead, 3 months ahead? Because it makes sense. Like we're kind of, like we talked about the programming, we're conditioned to just think about week to week, day to day, because that keeps you, when you focus on that, it keeps you in the week to week, in the day to day. But then the difference is going, and it's like the difference is being able to go longer term, and that's where it's like the ironic and the challenging thing about it is that's the challenge. That first mindset bit is actually making the commitment in the first place.
100%.
When you don't think that you're ready, when you don't feel like you're ready, it's the difference of like, oh, I know I should, like I know this is right, versus like then it's like when you go, I know I should, but, and then we talk ourselves out of it. So it's like that is one of the first mindset bits for a lot of people, that often when they do that and you hold that space, that's an important thing. You can't do that and then be like, well, it doesn't work very well, because I've seen guys do this where they do it and they're like, start panicking, oh no, what do I do? And they start just like reacting to like all the day-to-day stuff. Then they don't, then it's like they get desperate and they start doing stuff. It's like, it's good to put yourself in that situation, but if you start panicking, then that's where there's suddenly like all the jobs that I was getting, they're not happening anymore. It's about being able to make the decision, but hold the space, which is obviously where part of it is like where I come in as well, to hold the space. And then the guys that hold that space, when you do that, then that's where it starts flowing in more, and you can trust God's timing for that, because there's something about it's like that extra bit of the, now your works are fully in alignment with your, like, they're not saying that they weren't before this, but that step forward is like your works are fully in alignment with your faith, and you continue to do that and continue to do that, and it grows because that's where your focus is. Did that make sense? That's what I see.
Yeah, definitely what it is.
Yeah.
No, I reckon we just jump. I reckon we could just jump, but yeah, I probably won't. I probably not right now. Not yet. Let me change my language. Not yet. Probably not up front, but definitely within the months and stuff. I know I can back that 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I should just jump, man. If I don't jump now, I'm not gonna jump.
Yeah. I'm keen to. Like, yeah, I think that's good. I just have something coming up about the. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask where that like not up front bit is coming from.
I know. I think I got all the bills are coming in, so I know the rent and stuff. And then I'll be like, all right, you'll be like, all right, sweet. It'll be 3,000 something, and then I'll be like, I can give you half of that or whatever, if that makes sense. I can't give you the 3K whatever up front, sorry, but if that makes sense. So this week is usually where I usually pay most of it.
Yeah.
Every fortnight, most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, my thing with that is, I know the difference is time. You've also got your other stuff coming in, don't you? Like doing that time?
Probably not straight away though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
Probably not straight away. And then we took a big chunk out because we're going to Tonga.
Oh yeah.
And that paid for all 3 of our flights and stuff too. So I was like, And because the money we make, I don't know if I should say this, but yeah, it's not like let's just say, I made this, so it's mine. I made this, it's everyone's.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't want to be like, hey guys, give me this because I'm doing this here. Yeah. And then because it's investing in myself. I don't want to be selfish in the sense where, if that makes sense as well. So, I don't want to put anyone else in a financial burden as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I completely get that, man. That's fair. If you were to do that, like and put that on, when the other stuff comes in, would you not be putting back into that anyway?
Yeah. That'll probably go back in to the business. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, that's probably the only time for right now. Because I know we all each have certain things that we're investing in as well. And I just don't want to have too much this way and then just go like, oh, now I've got to wait longer because you took out this, if that makes sense. Or,
right.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
But if we can't solidify it now, I'm definitely wanting to pray over it. Not just because I'm not sure, I am sure. I just got to pray because I did pray about it. I just didn't really go deep into it and specify it with God. 100%. If not now, definitely in the near future, like probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever.
Yeah, the way I see it, I think it's good we can like get it cracking now, because then it's also a matter of like, if we know that you'll figure it out, we'll figure it out. Then we just do it basically. Get everything set up and do that and get it cracking. Yeah, man. Obviously, I understand where you're at as well.
Yeah.
So when would you be looking at like being able to do? Are you looking to do the full 3K, 3.5K, or like because you kind of, I don't know if I misheard you before, mention like the part of it and then part of the other.
I can get it within a week where I can be like, all right, sweet, bank, and then within that month I'll pay you the whole thing.
Okay.
If that makes, does that make sense to you? Or?
It does make sense. Yeah. So, like, what kind of dates are you looking at for that?
That was my issue. I'm like, that's why I was like, within it, I wasn't solidifying. I know I can make 3K in. It would be probably towards almost the back end of the month. So the second last week, I reckon. It'll be the third week? How many months is in a week in a month? 4, roughly?
Yeah, about 4 weeks. 4.2.
If that makes sense. I was going to say 3, but yeah, 4. Definitely towards back end of each month, I reckon second week, roughly. Because then I'm like, sweet, I know that this is for you, this is for them, and whatnot, so forth. But yeah. But I'm definitely gonna something I needed. It's a personal thing. I need to deepen it with God, so if that makes sense. But we already answered whatever we needed to answer right here. I think it's for mum and dad and stuff and other things too, so I gotta pray about that. I know they miraculously pull things out of nowhere too, my mum and dad. But yeah, I just need to fall back on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Did you say fall back on that?
Yeah, I'll not fall back, just need to go back and be like, all right, sweet mum, sweet dad, what are we looking at? What's our plan? Where do we want to go from here? I know we've got a lot of stuff doing, that we need to do and stuff, so. But I know their faith too, oh my gosh, crazy. They'll just pull out a rabbit out of a hat. I'm like, so you're telling me? But, they're like, oh no, we just, that type of stuff too. So I feel like communication there on my part towards my parents as well needs to be clearer as far as like the financial stuff. But
Yeah, man. Is part of it as well. I want to check. Is part of it not wanting it to go below a certain point as well?
Yeah, 100% that too. 100% that too. Because I've got to do a lot of like, let's call it side quests as well. If it gets below a certain point, then I'm like, I can't do my. It's not a side quest where do you need to do that? It's like all right, sweet, go here. Just like the traveling as well. That part too, so it's definitely Ubering. Work takes care of some, not all.
Like the non-work stuff.
Right. But yeah, it was just that type of stuff. I'm trying to think ahead. And you know what I mean? I'll be like, all right, sweet, I got work, but how am I supposed to get to work if I can't? I know I've got mates and stuff. That sort of stuff, but being a burden to other people. I don't want to do that and pull them out of their way just to be like, all right, come pick me up, come drop me off, type of stuff. So I don't like to burden people. So if I can't get there, I'll figure out a way to get there, like right now, like my situation right now. So yeah, man. If that makes sense. So I'm like, all right, sweet. If I go here, I can do a little bit of space. It's not. Yes, it is the getting to a certain point, but then be like, all right, sweet. If I go here and I go over that certain point, go lower than that certain point, I'm like, all right, sweet. Then I'm not able to go here, or do I have to? You know what I mean?
Are you saying you won't be able to, or asking if you'll be able to?
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. Yeah, because if your back is all the way up against the wall, you'll try and figure out how are you getting there. How are you going to get there? I think my main concern is, all right, sweet. If I can't get there, I have to do other stuff too. Time. I'm like, all right, sweet. Now I've got to leave extra early. It's not what I'm mainly concerned about. It's just the speed of where you're trying to. So if you have a goal, just trying to get there. I'm not expecting it to be super fast, but something so simple like going from home to work and taking like probably not the having like going from work to home to work. It's like such a simple task. Hop in the car or call an Uber or whatever and go into work. It's just those, all right, sweet. Now we've dropped below a certain point. All right, maybe, let's just say, maybe it's not work, maybe it's to the gym. I'm like, all right, sweet. Work can't really cover stuff like that, so I'm like, all right, now I have to run to the gym or walk to the gym, which I don't have a problem with. But it's just the time convenience, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And just being an inconvenience. I was like, I could have been here 20 minutes ago, but I had to do what I had to do. Yeah, if that makes sense.
That 20-minute difference.
Yeah. Editing as well.
Do you see that as like an indefinite thing or a temporary thing? If you had to have that inconvenience.
I see it as a temporary thing.
Because I ask because some of the way you're talking about almost makes it sound like I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Like I'm gonna have, if it gets below this point.
Yeah, I know it's a temporary thing.
Yeah.
Suffering is what we all called to do. But yeah, man. But that's about, like, I don't know what else to say, but I feel like it's that too.
Yeah.
Just that.
What is that point that you're like, I don't want it to get below that, if you don't mind me asking?
The point, because I know I can survive very well, not very well, but like do all the little bits and pieces of that. It'll be probably 1,000. I could do a lot with 1,000. When it gets below there, I'm like, all right, sweet. Got to cut out a lot of stuff now. So
when it gets below there,
yeah, I'm like, so got to do this, bring this here. Hopefully, wait for that. Ask the guys if it's all right for me to, take this to invest in a lot of other stuff too. Because I know they're investing on the other stuff as well. I'm like, I just like, for some reason, I find myself putting myself last in front of everyone.
I do notice that. Even,
I notice that. I put myself last.
It's like a burden.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just like to, and it's not nothing that weighs heavily on me. It's not wanting to seem selfish or whatnot. It feels better at the end of the day when people and I'm happy to gradually get mine, towards the back end and stuff. Yeah, 100%. I like to. Selflessness, I think, is what was taught to me when I was younger as well.
Well, you get joy from providing for others, right? Like it's an abundant thing for you to do, and to do that as well. One thing where it's like we put ourselves last is often we don't consider that it's actually an abundant and joyful thing for others to provide for us from their side as well. And it's like sometimes we can cut that off because like, oh no, like I understand, it's like a humility thing. Like you want to put yourself last. There also tends to be an element of it's actually a good thing to allow yourself to be provided for as well, because often when we don't, it's like we're cutting off our ability to provide more for others, because it's like saying, oh, I don't deserve to be provided for, even from God as well. But yeah, a lot of the things that you were saying, kind of like a bit earlier in the conversation, you were saying something, and I was like, oh, okay, there's that's like there as well. So it's even being okay with receiving, because if you're not okay with receiving past a certain point, then it's like God will be like, okay, you're not ready to receive. So it's also it's the giving out, but also the opening yourself up to letting it in as well, that expands you and helps others too. So with the 1,000, you were saying like you don't let it get past there for like below that for your stuff. Does that mean that whatever amount is, you just keep topping it up before it gets below 1,000 then?
Yeah. I reckon because it will just keep up there, then I'm able to cater to paying the bills, paying you.
But it never goes below 1,000?
Yeah, for some reason it's always that mark. I'm like, once it hits there, I'm all my days, like,
So 1,000's kind of like your zero. Like
like legit, like that's back up against the wall, like, all right, sweet, this is my alarm bells, like you were saying before. Alarm bells start ringing. Because I know what I can do just to survive, because I'm so used to 9 to 5. I was like, sweet, I just got to use this wisely until I get to next, because Thursdays is where I usually get paid. I usually got to use this wisely this week. Just to get by. So living the paycheck to paycheck, I'm probably almost still there, maybe, roughly. Have I made some financial decisions over the weekend that I'm not proud of? 100%. 100%. But
yeah. So the main thing that is catching my attention is that 1,000. It's like if it never goes below that, it's almost like there's this thing in your mind where it's like what the alarm bells indicate something. So like, what is that worst possible situation? Is it that it would never come back up to 1,000? But so say it did go below 1,000. If something came up, so say you had something that you had to do, how long would it take you? Again, like it's kind of like what we were doing before, just doing it with that point that feels like, oh, I can't go past this, because it's like, is that a logical thing? And we can kind of work around like shining some light on it. If it were to go below that, how long would it take you to bring that back up Or
Yeah.
like, do you think you'd never be able to get back up to the 1,000 again?
I think I'll put my finger on it. I think it's not the time that it'd take me to get back up. It's the constantly just staying at that same, because I was at one point in my life where it was like a paycheck to paycheck thing, right? Money comes in, all right, I'm up. Bills come in, and I'm like, oh, I'm back down again.
Yeah.
And then same thing over and over again. I'm just like, bro, I'm stuck at this. You know what I mean? Like this certain amount. Like, what else can I do just to elevate it a little bit? If that makes sense. Just constantly just staying at that figure. I feel like also makes the alarm bell ring to like, man, you look at it and you're like, bro, I'm not making any progress whatsoever. I try to do, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I do know some of because sometimes I get into this like intrusive spending stuff, obviously maturity financially, like obviously unnecessary spending and stuff. So I know that I need to cut back down on that. Me and Mel's the same. I won't out you, Mel. But we're the same, so that's why we've given it to our nephew, because he's a little bit better with handling money as well. Like I told you before, I was like, oh, we need that. Sometimes we do need it, sometimes we don't need it as well, but we just get it because it just adds. Investing, right? But obviously making mistakes in investing wrongfully and rightfully as well.
It all works out in the end because you learn from it all. An interesting thing that came to mind from what you were saying is a lot of the time it's like if you have the money in there, it's like, because you can see it, sometimes there's that like, oh, I can do that. Like that's where a lot of unnecessary spending comes in.
That's you're
like,
me. That's
oh,
me.
I can do it.
That's me.
So something that can be quite useful. Like to be honest, like if you're okay with me giving my honest opinion on it, it does sound like something that is actually good for you, because it's like, it's almost like we go, oh no, I won't do that now, like let it get below the point. But then we do other things, like we almost do things to bring ourselves back to that point. Like that's where the unnecessary spending comes in, because we're thinking like, oh, I'm a little above 1,000, like I can do that.
Back into that,
and we bring it back.
Yeah.
So it's like you spend it because you think it's there. So you're like, oh, I can do that. But it's like we're leading by our eyes, lead by faith, not by sight, you know? So because we see that, we're like, oh, okay, no, I can do that. And it's like putting yourself in the circumstance where you're like, oh, okay, I can do that. And you think you can do it. And then afterwards you're like, well, okay, now I can't do the other things. Versus a lot of the time it can work very well, depending on the person, like you kind of like flip it, where it's like, okay, I invest in my stuff, and now it's like, oh, you look at it and you're like, oh, I can't do the indulgent thing now temporarily. It's not like that's a forever thing,
100%.
but part of you, like normally where that fear comes from is like, oh, I just want to have that space to be able to indulge, and that, you know, and I want, versus even thinking like, okay, could I, if I had to, not indulge in this stuff for a month, for 2 months, 3 months kind of thing, or even just a couple of weeks, like we said, like it comes back up. But sometimes it's very difficult. It can be very difficult for us to look at it like the painting, you know, like right here, versus like, okay, let's take like even 2 steps back. Oh, I see. So there's that. It's why I've kind of honed in on it as well, because I know it's a little bit of an uncomfortable topic as well.
100%.
Just because I noticed it from what you're saying, I was like, oh, okay. Because I am happy to do like the later one, if it comes from the right place. But if I can notice that I'm like, if you made it from there, potentially might not be the best place for yourself, like for your own development, for your mind, and as well, because obviously that's what we're doing. It goes into like what goes into that decision. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Where are we coming from with that? And is it like something that's going to hold you back or help you? Like when you come from it from a certain decision, a certain point there? And it seems like with the fear of it going below 1,000, that would be a big step for you. I also, from what I can see, a big step in the right direction to be like, oh, okay, I can do that. Even if that did look like doing part of the upfront, or even doing all of the upfront, and then also, because I know you've got the other stuff as well. I'm not saying compromise and sacrifice the other stuff. I'm also just saying that being okay with it going below, to almost tell yourself that like, okay, I trust that it's going to grow from here, because you're doing, essentially it's like, think about it like a building. A building or a tree plants its roots deeper to grow taller. Like a good building has a deeper and wider foundation, to go up higher. And it's like if we plant our foundation on like, oh, okay, here I'm not willing to go deeper than like say the foundation is 1,000, then it's like you can't build a really big tall thing because you know it's going to fall. Versus when you go like, okay, not saying rock bottom, not saying to do that, but rock bottom in general, like to take it to an extreme, rock bottom is the best place to build a strong foundation because it's the deepest you can go at that stage. And sometimes God will take you to those depths and sometimes take you further. And because the point is he goes, plant that foundation on me. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not saying to like go to rock bottom because I know that it's unfair of me to ask that, and I would never ask of someone to do that. Some people do it, it's up to them. Like you said, you kind of tend to like work better when you're in that situation. Because again, it's like you know that, all right, I'm going to build this thing up, like regardless. It's like you do something to yourself where you say, I'm going to build it regardless. I know that I'm going to make it happen regardless, but it's being able to make that decision from that point to even just, like we said again, the painting, take a few steps back from the elephant.
Take the bigger,
right. Look at the bigger picture and be like, okay, is this me actually regressing? Because your immediate, like your short-term brain essentially goes, oh, this is a step back. No, we're going back to the old me versus you going like, okay, am I taking like what seems like a step back, which is in actuality a step forward, but this step back is like, if you're gonna run really fast, what do you do? Like, or if you're gonna jump a big gap, you might take a few steps back to run up and do it. Yeah, so it just seems to be coming from that place from what I can see from you. So if I were to just be like, oh yeah, of course, man, I feel like it's letting off a certain kind of pressure for you that would like, of course we can make the decision and have it be like, yeah, great. It's almost like, how do we make the best decision? Like the God-aligned decision is just where I'm coming from with it. Because for me, I'm like, you're keen, I'm keen, and I believe it's the right thing to do. So I'm like, yeah, we'll work it out regardless. Like, I feel like it's yes already, and we're just figuring out the logistics of it. Now it's like, it's almost like, in my mind, I'm like, we've started, and it's just about helping you, coach you like through that decision. Like, okay, how do we do this so that it's the best thing for you? Because if it is part of it, by all means, like, yeah, if it is the full thing because of the kind of commitment and what that does to your spirit and your flesh as well, then I'm like, I wouldn't be doing my job if I kind of was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like navigating through that with you. I'm gonna go to the toilet real quick.
Yeah, go
But
toilet.
I feel like we're at a point where it's like, yes, and let's like figure it out together.
Yeah, that's
Does that
what
sound good for you?
Yeah, I'm like, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I was like, I know I want to give him the full 3K. Well, I can't even give you the full 3K right now because I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not even there.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I'll wait here in case people try and run off with our stuff.
We'll say the yes.
Yes.
So yeah, if that's cool with you? Yeah? Cool. Now we're just figuring stuff out. Here you go. You can give him a spiel.
Anyways, we're gonna take a leap of faith here. So, but yeah, it's something that I can't pass by, if that makes sense. Whether I don't understand it or not, right now, I feel like in 3 months, I'll completely be changed. Well, not changed through God. My mindset will be completely transformed, and I won't have a mindset of scarcity, but a mindset that's full of abundance that God has promised us, and for us to hold on to that promise that He's promised us. So this is all new territory to me. I grew up around a family that wasn't very financially well off, so even at my ripe age, at 31, I feel like I've almost been molded into this type of mentality where, just scraping by week in, week out. Just meeting new people has really opened up my eyes to a lot of stuff where, we don't have to have this type of mindset or this type of mentality that I've been used to. So, I know I want to invest in a lot of stuff as well. But yeah, it did initially feel like a setback because it's probably not the indulgence part. It's more of the like I want to invest in other things as well, if that makes sense. Also, not having security. I do work at a job that has security, that gives me that security, but obviously that'll be leading with the flesh. And this is something that I'm working on, especially on the spiritual side. But yeah.
What'd you tell the people?
I'm just telling them what I hopefully what I want to do and stuff, and where I want to be and how I actually feel. So, but yeah. Now I just told them that whoever's watching, the one people that's watching. No, it's just I feel like the scarcity mindset has been deeply rooted in my. Especially in my earlier days when I was growing up. So that too. I feel like just the fear of like, man, we're back to square one again. But yeah, I think time. I think because I'm just so used to like, all right, I was down, but it took me time to get where I'm at now, and then it kind of comes. It's like a roller coaster progress. But yeah, like going back to the unnecessary spending and stuff. It's not mainly that too, because sometimes I'm like, man, I could invest in all these other stuff as well. So that's also one of the main parts too. Not just the mindset aspect of it, the spiritual one, but like like little small courses to help videography and stuff as well. Like I was talking to color grading.
Yeah, man.
All of that type of stuff too. So yeah. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Absolutely. It's like you said, that scarcity mindset can be pretty deeply rooted.
Yeah.
And because like a lot of the time like we build our foundation on that, especially if you have that kind of upbringing and like in like the societies that we grew up in, it's pretty common there. It's just like a matter of, okay, do I want that to be my story moving forwards? Is always the question. So yeah, man. That being said, like I'm like keen. Let's make it work. Another uncomfortable question for you a little bit is like, what could you put towards it today, and that we will do, that would be like a little bit, like not too much, but like a little uncomfortable for you as well, to like that you feel would push you into that, like, okay, let's do it. So like, what could you put forward?
Financially wise, like paying, I'll probably do like roughly around 5 to 1,000.
Yeah, man. Put that towards it today, and then throughout the month.
Throughout the month I'll come in. I know definitely with time it should all be there. Yeah. It should all be definitely. But yeah, I was like, 100%.
Yeah.
How do you want to do the?
Yeah, we can suss that out now. I'll send it over to you, the details. So, excuse me, sir. Like paparazzi. Oh, this is real discreet right here. Thanks, bro. Welcome aboard, bro.
Thanks.
Let's get it, bro.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm scared, but I'm looking forward to it.
That's it, man. The flesh is scared, but the spirit is prepared. Let's go.
I like that one.
Yeah, man. It's good. All right. What are we training today?
That was a question I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy. I'm kind of primed for whatever. I know that the one session we haven't done together yet is like a push session. So I was thinking we could do that.
We can do a push session.
Yeah, I was going to do some legs yesterday, but the road that we were coming down was blocked to get to the gym.
Yeah.
So I haven't done legs either. I know you like to squat and bench sometimes, but if you want, it might be a bit cruisier just to
We'll just do
press.
push.
Yeah. Cool, bro. Cool. Works for me, bro. Put our stuff in those piggy on holes. Let's get it. What do you like to start with for bench? Like flat, like barbell? I don't normally do much barbell pressing.
You don't really do.
Yeah. But I'm easy.
Well, lately I've been just coming off the barbell.
Oh yeah.
And just going to what am I doing?
Like dumbbells?
Yeah. Just because did I tell you that one? One of my goals for this year is to get better at barbells.
get better at barbells.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, at
Dumbbells.
dumbbells.
Oh, yeah.
Dumbbells.
Yeah, man.
Barbells, I'm just so used to it, just being a powerlifter.
Yeah.
But yeah, dumbbells expose my weaknesses, so that's why I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we'll work on my weaknesses.
Ah, sweet, bro. I actually prefer dumbbells. I do a lot of dumbbell pressing.
Yeah, I know that's
more
because you've been
my-
pushing around those 50s like they were nothing, so I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I reckon you're strong as though, man. So it'll be good to see you move some weight, bro.
Yeah, I feel like also sorry, just as a little, I don't know how we got to this point. I was thinking if I'm gonna be, because I know what 75-day hard did for me. Oh, sorry.
You're okay. I was like more concerned for your gear, bro. I was like, oh no.
I know what 75-day hard did for me.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And if I was telling Mel and my nephew as well, I was like, if I lock in for another 3 months again, where would that put me?
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm just gonna lock in. Probably treat it the same as 75-day hard, where alcohol's not in the equation anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
Sober mind, sober heart mentality.
Yeah, bro. I like it.
But yeah, I feel like people like to do 75-day hard to break into the new year.
Yeah.
But and that's it. And then they go back to their old habits and stuff like I'm doing right now. Like I've gone back to just not drinking heavily, but like just drinking in general. But does it do anything for you guys? A little bit. But you'd rather be drunk in the spirit than.
That's it, man. That's it. It's more so the one that has the benefit is wine.
100%.
Yeah, but you can get that from other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so you can get the same stuff from dark chocolate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather just have dark chocolate.
You love dark chocolate?
I don't like it.
You don't like
I
it?
don't have either of them.
Yeah.
Wine or dark chocolate. I'm just like, I can get it from other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an easy way. I think for a lot of people, like if you, it's like I know doctors prescribe that sometimes because it's like helps with the cholesterol side of things because it's like you're in there already.
Yeah.
What do you need to grab? Your bottle? Do you want to fill it up before we get started?
Yeah. Probably go use the toilet as well. I just want to go secure our spot over there at the dumbbell.
We'll get a little, I reckon, a corner over there so we can just face the camera to the wall as well.
Oh, right, yes.
Keep it nice and private. Yeah. And then we'll kind of just like cart a bench over there, I reckon. Because I'm assuming you can do more than the 50s. That's what you do, like just eating through them on your stories.
Oh, yeah. The max would probably be 60 though. But
Yeah, cool. So they've got that over here. We'll go over this way.